Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andy from Cavo, and I'm going to share with you my very first concert experience, or at least that I can remember. And I'm going to say, don't make fun of me, but I feel like my very first concert I ever went to was New Kids on the Block, a big Pepsi-sponsored tour in the summer of 1990. And I remember my sister really wanted to go. She's a bit older than me, so she was all about the New Kids at the time. My brother's a little younger than me, so he wanted to go too. So my parents, took three really young kids to the biggest pop tour at that time in the world. So you got to hand it to him for that. But I remember to get tickets for it back in those days, you had to wait in line at a famous bar or whatever store it was, and you had to draw a number, and then you had to wait in line, and then you got to go inside and buy the tickets. This is long before Ticketmaster and all the things that we have nowadays, which makes life so much easier. You wait in virtual lines and things like that. But I guess we got there late or something, and we got like the last group to come in, so we had to wait for like 8 hours. Like 8 or 9 hours to get in to buy these tickets. And I remember at one point some guy offered my mom an earlier, like I drew this number, it'll get you in way sooner. And she said no, and we all thought, how long could the line possibly take? Well, it took 8 hours, which whenever you're 7 years old feels like 8 years. But we waited in line, we got the tickets. We ended up getting some nosebleed seats, but for the New Kids on the Block, I mean, we were just happy to be there. And they had Jumbotrons and everything. And so we go to the show. It was at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. The original one, like the bowl one. Super cool to have seen a big show there like that. I don't remember who opened the show because it was very lukewarm response. I mean, everyone was there to see the New Kids because it was the summer of the New Kids, step by step, And so I'll never forget when they took the stage, my main memory of New Kids on the Block in 1990 was just the screaming, just the deafening screams of the girls in the audience, including my sister and everyone else around her, just people screaming to where it physically hurt. And it wasn't even when they could just stand there and they'd scream. I don't think they stopped screaming the entire time. But man, when those New Kids got up there and started doing that fist dance they did, girls were fainting, going to the bathroom on themselves, screaming, more screams. And again, I'm in the back, so I really can't really hear the music at all. But I remember thinking it was cool. But then at one point, my brother, who was younger than me, wanted to go home. He was tired. And so my parents decided to leave. I don't think my sister wanted to leave. I probably didn't want to either, besides I was in physical pain. I was probably enjoying the spectacle of the show, I imagine. And so we walked out, and to get out of the arena, we had to go around the back, so we were like behind the stage. And if you look through the little holes, you could see the New Kids up there still just cutting it and just getting down and killing it in the game at 1990. And we ended up leaving, and I remember the next day waking up, and to this day, and I've been playing drums in bands for well over 15 years at this point, with monitors, no earplugs usually. To this day, the morning after the New Kids on the Block concert in 1990 was the most my ears have ever rang and the most physical pain I've ever felt from a live rock and roll show. And I've been to metal. I saw Jackal one time. But New Kids on the Block, man. New Kids on the Block. Loudest concert I've ever been to with all the screams. But it did I decided then I want to try to be a musician. Maybe not a pop star, but I was like, maybe I'll be their drummer. Yeah, New Kids on the Block. 1990. Rock and roll.